Music, industry talk, stories, equipment and more. We are Crossfader and this is off the record. Off the record. Off the record.
Hello gang, welcome back to this week's Off the Record podcast. Just me and Jamie this week.
He's got away with it quite a few times now, hasn't he?
Sorry to all the Danny Williams fans. He'll be back next week. It is already sort of Black Friday period, which basically means it's Christmas. I mean, I don't understand how
it's Christmas shopping season, isn't it?
Christmas shopping season.
Yeah.
The Black Friday basket is getting... It's juicy at the minute. It is pretty juicy with really boring man stuff, razors.
I haven't looked yet. I'm that typical person that just
you wait for Friday.
Right, I'll just wait for that Friday, and then I'll kind of scout everything out. It's a tricky one. I get a bit overwhelmed. I'm a bit there's just so much out there. I'll just get a bit can't deal with it.
Do you just miss when it was just one day?
Yeah,
it was a bit chaos though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But
especially for those people selling TVs. Remember all those videos that used to go around?
People in curries just arm wrestling over a 50% TV. But the reason we bring it up, two things. One, we're putting together a deals, like a DJ, Black Friday deals for DJs, because we thought it is the time where you want to get loads of little stuff like USBs, headphones, a new controller, even your software companies are having sales. There's your DJ pools. So we're trying to collate it all together and put it out. So we'll put it out probably in around about the 23rd or something, when all the deals are sort of in.
Definitely
we'll find deals on Amazon for your cheap headphones, your speakers, all that kind of thing, and we'll put it out. So make sure you join our mailing list. We've put out just to go against what I was saying when we miss it being one day. Our Black Friday sale is now live.
Oh, wrong one.
Our Black Friday sale is now live, and if you are a long-term watcher of our channel, we offer 50% off during Black Friday for all our DJ courses. Something we've done literally from the start. So it is. You'll hear about it a lot, and we'll shout about it a lot, but it is the best offer of the whole year, basically.
Yeah, we never do it again.
We build it up for this, and it's basically a sort of 2 week and a bit period now. So it is live. You can go and check it out. It's 50% off all our individual courses, and there is a one-time special offer on the complete package. But everything's on wearecrossfader.co.uk. If you want to know a little bit about more what we do, we cater to all DJs, beginner to pro. We've got genre-specific courses, we've got controller-specific courses, we've got software-specific courses, we've got courses to help your career, to manage your music library as well. Or there is a complete package, which is everything that we own, everything that we teach and we create. There's bonus content in there, and you get access to all the future content and all the future courses that we make, which is usually about 3 or 4 a year, basically. Yeah.
Just for context,
yes.
The complete package, it's got over 1,300 video lessons in there.
Jesus. Did you count them individually?
Well, they have been counted, yeah.
That's wow, yeah.
And it's ever growing. It's a big library of content. And a big part of that is there's 50 hours worth of bonus content within those videos, which is stuff that you can't get via the courses. It's all stuff that can only be accessed. Those 50 hours can only be accessed with the complete package choice. So go check it out. We love it. We love to be able to offer this discount, join the Black Friday sales. And we know a lot of people kind of bulk buy and get a few courses that last them through the year, and we love to hear from all the new students that join the Crossfader platform, especially in the next month or so. So we'll see you in the courses, hopefully.
Exciting times, yeah. Speaking about exciting, I'm going to try, and what I'm going to do, Jamie, in this episode is I'm going to try and tease next week's guest without giving it away. So I'm going to fail miserably, but it's to put it sort of bluntly, it's biggest DJ on the planet, basically. So exciting guest next week. So make sure you tune in for next week's guest, because it's definitely probably the biggest we've had, arguably. Yeah. And it's going to be a good one. So I was at this guest's event last night. If you follow us on socials, you'll probably give it away already. And I was just...
I'm not pumped for it. I'm not excited for it. I'm something else for it.
Okay, yeah. We're ruining this. But while he was playing, I got to really say he's a really, really, really talented DJ, and I just got a really good sense of like he's like crowd engagement, crowd involvement, and I was like, and the other DJs that were on supporting also had this, and I was just looking at the crowd as they were DJing, and I was. Still I had my DJ brain on because I was like, behind decks watching and stuff. And it just got me thinking about like little things you do to like read a crowd and stuff like that. And I was like, there's so many nuances to it. A lot of new DJs like ask, how do you read a crowd, or how do you do a good warm-up set? And they kind of go a little bit hand in hand. But I was having to think about it today and sort of started to do a little bit of digging. So what I want to do is like approach like reading a crowd from, let's go sort of like your generic, nightclub, maybe a wedding event or corporate, but your generic in a venue, because there's a lot of DJs, a lot of different types of DJ now, right? We're going to go specific like club event like DJ.
And are these just kind of your people going out for a drink, having a party? They're not buying a specific ticket for anything.
Maybe, because I think that comes into it as well. Because speaking to like the big guests we've had on previously, even though people buy a ticket to a specific guest, they cater their set differently in like different areas or different parts of the world, and things like that, and so that all plays into it. So let's break them down. I've got about 7 or 8 sort of tips you can start doing. But I think what people misconstrued is when we get asked by a beginner DJ or something, how do I read a crowd? What they want is like really actionable tips of like when they're in a DJ booth, what am I looking for? What am I actually doing? But it actually starts before that, like we just said. So reading a crowd starts before you actually get to the venue, before you even set off and get in your car and go to it, right? It starts with like, doing your research for the gig. What is the venue? What is the type of venue? Who's coming in? Because you're already starting to paint a picture of the people coming in there. Is it a brunch? Is my set at 4 a.m. or 4 p.m.? Do you know what I mean?
How drunk are people going to be? Like, how engaged are they going to be with the music versus talking to the friends versus just not wanting to dance or really wanting to let their hair down and lose their inhibitions? There's all these little things that you kind of need to understand.
Yeah, I like to check like the social media. If like a brand or a club's got social media, just having a check of like, they put clips up maybe. It's like what's going off.
Yeah,
like,
even if it'd be best to go down to the event in previous weeks,
100%.
and actually experience it first person. But if you can't, 100% looking at what media they're putting out, what kind of persona they're putting out, because that gives you an idea of if they're attracting a certain clientele. If all their artwork's really like swish and sleek and, it's got an air of elegance to it, then you know that it's going to try and attract a more like a crowd that maybe aren't going to be dancing like crazy. They want to be spending money behind the bar, etc. Or if you've got an account that's sharing loads of videos of people raving, it's like they want people dancing. So it's little things like that that really paint a picture of who are they trying to attract. So how are you going to best serve those people?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, artwork plays such a part in it. Like I play for a brand called Full Fat, and it's all about like XL energy, they call it. So, you know what I mean? You can just tell what kind of night it is. That's a good point as well. And like even like reaching out to like a DJ who's played there before, or just having a quick call with a manager or the promoter or something like that. But it starts from there, because it's like, if you just turn up blindly to a gig and you set at 2 in the morning and you've got like a load of chill tunes or vice versa or something, like you're already there's nothing you can do then with the crowd in front of you to read the crowd anyway.
And if you lose them, it's harder to bring them back. It's very hard, especially really if it's already up. You sort of can't undo like a bad preparation set list to read the crowd anyway, because there's no point, nothing you can do about it. Something I like to do, and I guess this kind of goes to like mixing styles, but I like to test the room early with different sort of tracks and different vibes quite early. So this goes to if you sort of maybe like more, maybe a bit open format, but not too open format. I don't mean if you're playing all from disco to rock to indie, but if you are playing house, there's so many variations of the subgenres
of what the room is. So I like to sort of throw well-known vocals. I like to play a couple of like unknowns, maybe a couple of like dubs or something like really early when it's sort of warm-up session, sort of when they're coming in, and just see what they're reacting to. Because even though you play like residencies week to week, different types of crowd come in, and sometimes you'll just catch a bit of a wave where, let's say I'll drop like an unknown garage track or something, and you spot like 10 people going, oh shit, what is this? All of a sudden you're like, okay, let me lean into this a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose what we need to get across to people is trying to categorize the parameters. So if you think of, okay, this is a house gig, but what is a house gig? House, okay, so BPM first. You're thinking about a certain range of BPM.
That's a good point.
But then you think, okay, well, if I'm in that range, if there's a certain customer that likes a 128 housey track? Will they like a garagey track at 132? Maybe, or will they like a disco track at 125? Like, so you've got to start thinking about what are those parameters. So you've got energy levels, you've got BPMs, you've got subgenres within there, but then you've also got vocals versus instrumental versus, like, does it have really long big build-ups or is it just, very traditional structured, kind of like dance remixes, pop remixes, versus like longer extended, big build-up, big energy tunes. So there's all these different parameters you can attach to the music and the library that you've got. And then, like you were saying, testing those different things out. If I went to a house gig, I could think, well, could I get away with playing like a random Basement Jaxx old school tune? Does that fit?
Does it work
into the house set, into a house crowd? Maybe a certain type of house crowd clientele would appreciate that song, and another wouldn't. And this is where you start to think about the broad spectrum of the genre, and then kind of going, okay, what are the different pockets of it? I said Basement Jaxx. It's not really a house tune. That's actually like old pop, sort of electronic, sort of dancey music. But there's times where a track like that could work really well in a really cutting edge house gig because it just provides that wild card, a bit of a fresh take on it. And then you've got the other side of it is like not going too commercial. If it's a bit more of a serious house gig, not playing the bait tunes that everyone are like, I've heard these so many times. Like, you're just playing such an obvious set right now. You got to think a bit deeper and think, this crowd know house music well, and they've probably been out a lot. So, as much as this latest Fisher tune is a banger and it's number 1 in the Beatport charts or whatever, am I just going to kind of like, is it going to fall a bit flat because they're a bit more educated, this crowd, and they don't want to hear that song again?
It kind of ties. My third point is like watching a body language, but they both tie into each other. It's like, what I do is I play at an event where my room opens a bit later. So they filter everyone in the warm-up room before, and then my room will open later. And they'll kind of funnel up before, and they'll kind of funnel up. So what I'm watching out for is like, right, who are the first people coming through, and what do they want? So that's why I'll try and I'll kind of do like 30-second mixing and see like, all right, there's a big bunch of like 15 girls walking through there. Let me throw some Charlie XX or whatever they listen to. And is that what they want, or is it like a bunch of lads are coming in, or are they feeling this like garage underground stuff? Do they want house, or am I gonna be in for a night of where it's just standard student night and they just want to sing, or are they a bit cooler? Do they not want that? Because they'll come and like let you know early doors as well. But it's like
the most stressful point of a night.
A little bit, It's like, because I'm trying to get them to like where I need them to be, and sometimes you can force it a bit too early. And we'll talk about another point. But sometimes you can force it. And sometimes you got to let, and I think experience takes over here, because I know in certain situations not to panic too early, not to go too early, and also intentionally just chill and let it go, because I'm saving up so much energy stored up for them to not leave. Do you know what I mean?
It's like a catapult, isn't it? It's like just pulling the tension back, and then there's a point where you go. Go.
And we've all gone too early before, because we're like, this is not working, it's not working. I know what's going to work, and you go, boom, I'm into it, and then all of a sudden it's like 1 in the morning, you've got 3 hours left. You're like, oh my god, what am I going to play? One thing that somebody pointed this out to me, and I do it, but I didn't really know that I did it. I can't remember where I was, but I was playing at Warehouse. But point number 4 is, somebody told me to check like the edges of the room, which I never really thought about. But then when I was doing some gigs, I was like, actually, quite easy to fill a dance floor, right? Because people just want to dance. But the people around the edges are then thinking about, am I going to the bar? Am I going to the other room? Is it time to go to the toilet?
Am I leaving the venue entirely?
Well, and around the edges, depending on how the speakers are built, it's where they just have like a chat or something, right? So somebody told me, it's like, if you can get them people in the middle of the dance floor, like, you're doing a good job. And I started to do it. I'm like,
they're the next people to win over, right?
A little bit, a little bit. And you've got to pay attention to, like, it's also like, sort of see what the mood is around it. It's like, is this too easy? Am I just playing to this group of people? How can I make everybody come involved, or do I need to? Do you know what I mean?
I just thought, going back to that point of testing loads of tunes quite quickly and mixing quite fast. I used to. It'll only work in certain environments, but I used to like sample tracks not even mix them. So like good hooks, like before drops and stuff, or good melodies, but not play it. And I'd like cut the crossfader in and like layer over just that melody, the recognizable melody or the recognizable vocal.
So they know, like, oh, this is coming. But
and then I listen to the reaction. Like if they hear that and you hear a bit of like then I'm like, okay, that will work later, but don't play it yet. And then I try another one and I'm like, oh. if I get a reaction, that'll work later. And then I put it in like a prepare list.
Let me just write that down.
So I kind of like just do these little hooks, but I don't give away the tune because it's like I don't want to waste the tune yet. Like it, yeah. It's like, okay, I know that's going to work because that pocket of people made a little reaction, and you guys, you can all wait for it in another half an hour. I'm going to play it.
I like that. Yeah, doing that tonight. This is a good one. So we're talking about quick mixing, but then there comes to a point. It's like, what happens when you let a full song play out versus quick mixing? So you do a few tests, like you say, you might be putting in a loop. What happens then if you just play like a long blend of a long track at 6 minutes, like back to back? Is the vibe still there? If it is, like, cool, we don't need to like force it, or is everyone a bit ADHD and it's that kind of night where they're after loads of vocals, they're after
those early doors and the transition point in the night. I used to really have to force myself to hold back because you get to a gig and you're like, I'm pumped, I want to DJ tonight. I've got this gig. Yes, I'm going to go in. And you just start getting too excited and you start mixing a bit too quick. And you suddenly start running out of songs or playing stuff too quickly. And it doesn't translate to the audience at that time, but you're pumped because you're like ready to DJ, and then you fatigue quicker. So it is a bit of a marathon, some of these longer sets where you've got to go, right, I'm ready to mix the next track, but let me just stop, look up, enjoy, just let the track play, have a little drink, and just be in that warm-up environment myself as well, you know.
Yeah, because it can be disoriented. That's why I like to test a few quick mixes early, because if I drop, latest Charlie XX song and girls start singing it, but then it's 30 seconds later I'm into the next vocal, you're gonna be like, well, fuck, I wanted to sing that. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to, that's what I mean about playing it, getting your head up, and then being like, okay, let's ride out these 2 tracks, 3 tracks. Have I just lost everybody? Is the mood?
I learned that exactly that exact thing the hard way. Playing a lot of like very commercial gigs and wanting to, and I was just too excited as a DJ. And I'd have people coming up like, "Why have you cut the song off? Like, you're just mixing too quickly." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm being creative." No. I'm just thinking, I know best, but actually no. And once more and more people started like calling me out on it, like actual customers, I'm like, actually, I need to listen to them.
Yeah, that is one of the points. Yeah, I get in. I like, I'm ADHD on decks. I like to. That's just our style, innit? We quite like to do that. And then some tracks that you love, that you've downloaded. Like, I love this song and play it. I like, let it play out and let's see what happens, kind of thing. Yeah. But this goes into the next point. It's like does during the night, like, does the crowd need a break? And that is a big thing to like figure out when you DJ. And this goes to like your long sets. If you're doing an hour guest sets, don't worry about that. But if you are a resident DJ, which you probably are, listen to this, like there's times where you just you need to take it to a 2 and a 3 for a little bit of experience at a time. Because then a night doesn't just go up, peak, and then come down, down, down. It has to go through a bit of a journey to get to that really big peak. And then you don't want to lose that either. You don't want it just to peak and then everyone fucks off. So what you need to have an idea in your mind of what them sort of tracks are that aren't the biggest tracks, but that aren't going to kill a dance floor, but that are just going to like ride it out. And you'll know it because say you've played like 3 bangers, sing-alongs, hands in the air kind of things. They're ready then just to go, okay, let's just have a dance and like not talk, not like have a chill.
It's almost like play a sing-along, but not too big of a sing-along. Yeah. Play a banger, but not too much of a banger. Like it's just
or like play like the instrumental of the tracks and let's just like vibe out to it or something like, or an edit of it. But yeah,
edits are always good because I mean I'm talking more as a house DJ now, but there's always like a more chilled out version. There's a more like bigger, intense version. Usually people they'll get like a disco-y, housey producer to do a remix of most house tunes, and then they'll also get a bit more of an intense, like a John Summit or something.
But I do it. I've got this period in like about a set where I've got like tech house, then I go up to a bit like garagey house, and then for like 10 minutes I play like K-Tronada style vibes for like 5-10 minutes. And it's still vibey and stuff. It goes down to like 115, 120 BPM, and then I'm sort of back up because it's like I'm ready to go.
It gives you room to take the energy back up, because once you get to the top with energy, like where do you go? There's nowhere else to go. So if you control the down, you can then control it to come back up, rather than lose control and keep it up there but lose them anyway because they're fatiguing. You're taking control of that, giving them the break that they need. So it definitely plays into those longer sets. And even, we're talking, we were speaking from a house DJ's perspective there, but even if you're just an open format resident DJ, you'll just pick to go to a different genre with a different energy level.
That's it.
If you were slamming out drum and bass, move back to house. Or if you're playing house and they're fatiguing, get to hip hop and R&B, some big sing-alongs there. Go to pop.
Playing an open format set, like when I play an open format set, let's say it's a 4-hour set, my sort of, like total open format, my sort of thing is, right, I'm getting them to sort of drum and bass at peak, right? I can't really go anywhere from that, right? That's the moment where after that, it's kind of like, it's nearly time to go home or something, right? So yeah, it is right. Where can I take them before I get them there?
You know what I love with drum and bass is the halftime is there's a lot of hip hop, so you can just switch it so quickly and be like, just so give them that break
from house, you brought it down into like Drake and Travis Scott and stuff, which is still energy, but it's different. And then you straight into drum and bass again, and that's what you mean by taking them sort of on a journey, 100%. When is peak time? We just sort of touched on the next point. Is like learn not to go too early. We talked about it a little bit before, but it is like you say, it's like this coil, and it's like this spring, and there's moments. And if you're not familiar with the gig, and it's maybe a slow burn or something, you're trying to impress or something. It is just very easy to be like, right, let's put my biggest DJ world hat on and let's just get everyone on the dance floor. Or maybe you're like, you're doing like a warm up set for like a big DJ and you're like, right, I'm gonna show them how good I am here, and it's like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But it is like, you have an idea of like your sort of biggest tracks, won't you, and what you need to peak. What we've said, like if I'm an open format, I'm trying to get them to like drum and bass energy or techno energy, I need to like save them and not be playing techno at like 11 p.m. when doors have opened.
Do you know what else as well with reading a crowd? I don't know if this is a point, but
got one more.
Have you? It's not to do with the microphone, is it?
No, go for that.
So this is another thing, is like if you're an open format DJ, or even if you're not, like the microphone can be a really good way to engage and test the crowd out. Are they engaging with you? If you do the most obvious thing and say, there's a big build up, you tell everyone to put their hands in the air. Do they listen? No. Do they put their hands in the air? Are they engaged with what you're doing, or is it they're like, whoa, that was a bit random, like what, I'm not bothered about what the DJ is saying.
It's a brunch, it's 4 p.m. there.
Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of use the microphone to your advantage to read the crowd as well, because you can test their responsiveness to what you're asking from them. It can go beyond just put your hands in the air, but there's a lot of stuff of, if you're going to get reactions, even if people, you might be a full-on party DJ or wedding DJ and you're doing announcements, and it's like, do the crowd sort of stop and listen and engage, or does it just go straight over them and they're just not listening at all? And that's another way.
I've done some like corporate events where you're doing some certain announcements or something, but then you're trying to get the party going, and like they're like sat there in suits. You're like, let's go. They're like,
there's times where when I used to do the really big gigs, 2,000 people, that becomes a show then. And you're stepping into the feat of, really trying to put on a show. And there was times where once the energy had got up to a certain point, it was me and Danny that used to play back to back actually a lot. And it worked really well when there was two of us, because then I'd say to Danny, right, you get on the decks, get this song lined up. And we were on a stage, and it was a case of we'd got the energy right up, we kind of fatigued the audience, and then we'd stop the music, I'd get on the mic, get on the stage and do something interactive with them to give them a different, so they're not dancing at this point.
It's like you're breaking the vibe, you're interrupting something
exactly
just to get their attention,
and then it's like you can build up from there again. And the obvious one that you've probably seen loads of DJs do at festivals and big shows is get your phone torches out. That's the big thing, like and that's one of those key things where you can just stop the music, you can ask everyone to get the phone torches out, do a really long drawn out sing along epic moment, and that creates that without losing the engagement. You're actually engaging the audience further, but you've taken the energy level right down. So they've had the rest that they need, but they're still very engaged. And that's where it's a tried and tested thing. That's why so many artists and performers do these crowd interaction exercises, is because it allows for them to take that energy up and down and give breaks without losing engagement. So
and it's a funny one, because again, it does go into reading a crowd, because it doesn't always work. I turned up to a gig, I was in an outdoor event for this kind of like well-known DJ, so I was on after him. And basically, it was an outdoor event, but it just like pissed it down for like the last hour or two, so, like torrential rain. So I got there like 20 minutes before the finish, and like the MC was on for him, and the crowd were just like miserable sort of thing.
Right? Through.
So he'd finished. Luckily for me, like it stopped raining, and I just were like, "There's no way I'm talking to these people." Like, so I just played like music and vibes, and everyone just like filled up. Then luckily because of the rain or whatever, but I was just like, I think they just want to dance now.
Almost
like,
don't try too hard to make it something. Yeah.
My last one sort of goes hand in hand with that, which is like. Like listen to the requests, listen to the people coming up to you, and what I mean is, the difference between a drunk person coming up to you and asking for something totally random and being, annoying about it. But if like this, if a large chunk of people are coming in and requesting something different to what you're playing, maybe have a think because that's your crowd at the end of the day. And if 5 people have requested like the same song or genre or something, and I get that. You might be booked to do a gig that's like it's a tech house night and like someone's coming asking for Travis Scott. Like I get that, but generally speaking, in sort of more open format.
But
worlds,
use your DJ skills and knowledge to go. Can I
do
that request into the box that I've been booked for? Yeah. And that's the real sweet spot. Is going. You know what? I'm going to try and please the person that's booked me in the night. But I'm also going to try and please this random person who's asking something totally obscure to the night, and not be like, nah, it's not that kind of night. Go away. Like. Leave the club, like. But think, is there a way that I can tease that? And with all this stuff with stems and everything that's out nowadays, you can just literally. Can you just give them a bit of a vocal over the housey track, or can you, just play a housey remix of the hip hop tune just for that one song in the night? Just there's things you can do to kind of try and tick that box for them without changing the whole night.
Yeah, I like that. It's like, you're playing a house night. Have you got any Travis Scott? Yep. Just go pull a Travis Scott remix and everyone's happy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But again, we've talked about it before a little bit, but like taking requests, not taking requests, don't mean you have to take that exact request, but like Jamie said, you get creative around what people are asking for. If you're getting loads of hip hop requests at a house gig, how can you please?
Do you know what's really good for your music library is finding lots of various remixes of the classics. So, for example, if you take an older genre like funk and soul, and you take like Aretha Franklin, Respect, Stevie Wonder, Superstition, there are hundreds of remixes of those classic tunes out there. Download 20 of them. Right, in all different styles. Get your, minimal housey version. Get the one that's just sampling it and it's only just recognizable. Get the one that's just a straight like commercial 2024 remix.
On the flip side, it works with the new tracks. I'll do that as like, right, what is the number one tracks right now in the world? Right, I need that in every genre. Because eventually I'm going to probably play it somewhere.
And it's really easy to then please those cross genre crowds where you've got like an older crowd and they just want to hear stuff they know. 100%, and you're like, but I've got cooler like younger kids in here. So it's like that Superstition remix kind of ticks both boxes potentially.
Like I've got Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. I swear to God, I've got 16 remixes. I've got transitions. I've got disco versions. I've got acapella intro versions because I'm like, no matter what scenario, I need to be able to play the biggest song of the year in some certain scenario. That is. I hope that's helped you out with some tips of how to read a crowd. If you need more tips on DJ or anything like that, remember it is Black Friday. Black Friday is live. Just go to wearecrossfader.co.uk. It's 50% off all DJ courses for the next couple of weeks. It's basically from now till I think the 2nd of December is your sort of period. But I know you're all weirdos and you're going to wait till the actual Friday, the 29th, like we are. So that's fine. I won't judge you for that. I've got quite a few tracks this week.
Nice.
Shall we do a bit of a add to playlist? We're going to go add to playlist, and this is basically me searching, or Jamie or Danny searching SoundCloud to give you some tracks. And basically, these are most of them are sort of SoundCloud available. You can go and download. But we're going to see if Jamie's going to add these to his playlist. Yeah, I've got quite a few today. Let's start off with this one.
So again, another vocal that has many versions.
Many versions.
And does this serve a certain purpose? Yep. I think it is. Ooh. I don't know if the vocals are like clashing a little bit, but anyway.
Ooh, Virgin.
Nice.
It's a Virgin bootleg.
Yeah.
But it goes,
it's got him all over it,
because I think the original doesn't have a vocal in it all, so it's like this is what we're talking about, right? It's like I want to play this track, but I play it somewhere I need a vocal. I need it to work for my audience, and it's like that is a perfect example of it.
Oh, that is a great example of what we've been talking about. Find those remixes, find those edits.
Who is that?
Because you can get away with that in so many environments.
Moonlight. That is Moonlight to Love. CGRO mashup. SGRO mashup. Sammy Vergi and Sigma.
Nice.
It's vibey, that, isn't it?
That's vibey. That's going in the
garagey vibes. Let's go. Let's try this one.
Bit slower.
Bit heavier. Bit heavier.
Chunky.
Speed it a bit.
Nice big build up. Are we ready?
Bit tougher,
nice, yeah. Tougher. I like the side chain on the sample. Like,
ooh, oh, that was nice.
Nice, Phil.
I'm a sucker for a Wu-Tang sample.
Nice. Again, it's one of those ones. It doesn't really go anywhere unless it changes. It's just kind of.
That's nice.
A little bit more.
A little bit of energy. That is, but Faed, F-A-E-D, nothing to F with. Going in
playlist with that last
like
one.
About sort of techie house.
Yeah, but again, maybe a bit more of a warm up. It's that boppy, vibey. Like that's a good one to take the energy. You know, we're talking about taking the energy down a little bit. You know, it's not too intense, but it shouldn't lose the crowd.
Let's go with this one.
The hard thing with these big open breakdowns like this is that we've got a vocal. That's okay. I'm gonna say you can easily lose an audience if it goes on too long like that.
You can test it. Like, am I gonna lose it? Am I gonna lose these or not?
Brunch.
Oh yeah.
Brunch vibes. Would you play it? Thinking about your gigs, like when would you play it? What time would you play it?
I would try this quite late, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Again, you know them break ones we were talking about, when the crowd needs a little bit of a break. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
When I'm like, say I played that Wu-Tang one before, and it's a bit energy, but I'm like, right, they've had a lot of energy. Maybe it's like.
Picked up a bit,
nice
for the second drop. I feel like the energy's changed there,
like
so you could take it back up a bit from that.
I like the title of it. It's obviously a French producer, Le Remix de Anderson. That is the title. Le Remix de Anderson by Alan Gertrand. Sorry, French people. What are you saying?
I like it.
Warm up folder.
Yeah, warm up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got nothing against it, so it's going in the playlist.
Okay.
I just don't know when I'd play
I used to love this R&B song, so let's see if this is a house remix of it.
I love it. I love it. I love it when they try to get into me.
Remember this?
I do remember
Cassie?
this. Yeah.
Into it. I'm not into it. I already know the game and I've been through it. See, I buy my own bags, my boots, my jeans. Will a rock with my rebel yell underneath. You wanna step to me? Since you got a long way to go.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Spaced out. Very simple.
Oh!
Yeah! We've got him. It's very simple. Oh. That is so simple, but so nice.
Again, it goes back to doing something simple and well.
Yeah.
Ooh. I love that like false drop. You think, right, we're in, and actually no, it's just like here's the track, and then it comes in with that slamming kick drum.
Good timing. Oh, goes a bit darker at the end.
Minimal. Yes, that's top of the playlist for me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
See, that's a song that will get played multiple times, like for weeks, is what I'm saying. So going back to some of these tracks, it might be that they only last 2 or 3 weeks in my set. Some of the other ones, I could see that lasting 6 months beyond. You know, so that's the other thing to think about when you start sourcing for music is, you know, is this just going to serve a purpose for the next couple of weeks, or is this a banger that's going to become pretty much a staple in a lot of my sets?
Yeah. It's interesting. I've got my playlist, the standard house, the progressive, techno, blah blah blah, and then I've got like my playable playlist. So like if it's like a residency or if I've done like an hour set, and then I'm always tweaking them ones and pulling out of that because I don't want that one to get too big because I don't want too much choice of what to play. But then I also want new bangers to go in there. That is Cassie Long Way to Go. That is the remix? DJ After AB remix.
All the SoundCloud producers like bunch of letters. It's like they just got on a keyboard like.
Is that what I want to make sure I've got this right because this is good. No, it isn't that. Cassie, A Long Way to Go. The Good Son remix.
Right.
The Good Son remix.
That makes more sense.
Cool.
Right, that's my favorite.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Where should we go?
Can you top it?
Where can we go? Let's go for. I actually quite like this one. Shaky.
Cause I come from a different cloud. I can take a places you ain't never seen before. Moving so loud, it's not my goal. Hell no. But you got no confidence like me. Really wanna run around and chase me. I'm not Travis, baby, never chase me. I work too hard, can you fucking pay me? I did so much, you did it with me, and I'm not alone. Since 2019.
Simple again, isn't it?
It's simple. It ticks that edit box, doesn't it? Like the.
Oh yeah. The chords. Oh yeah.
Doesn't quite top the last one, but it's up there.
It's in the same playlist.
It is, yeah.
Same playlist.
Again, vibey. It's going in my playlist.
Vibey.
I think that's probably my second favourite out of them. Potentially.
We've got a few here. Let's. Where should we go? Let's go here. Sorry, the last track was 1 minute. I'm on SoundCloud instead of Recordbox this week. So, Tommy Richmond, Devil Is a Light, Vince Moraga remix. Where are we? I've totally lost.
Too many tabs.
I've lost the plot. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably won't sin again. Again, another of those tracks. Get various versions of it.
Yeah.
You can have a mad trap version.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. I got my drink, I got my music. I will share it with the
Leveling up is this playlist.
It is a bit, isn't it?
It's leveling up.
Nice.
This is a vibe.
This is nice. Ooh. Yeah.
Absolutely love that. And do you know what? This playlist right now is just painting a picture of like how good the music industry is right now.
Yeah.
The fact that like straight up hip hop and house have like found this common ground.
Gel.
And there's so many producers out there that go, I love hip hop and I love house. Can we just bring it together?
Because don't you remember how awful it was the first time when it was like David Guetta and like Lil Wayne, and I'm like, no,
that synergy doesn't work.
It
came from the wrong place.
Like the sexy bitch era was just not. It was just not the one.
But that's because it came from the labels going, oh, you're a big artist and you're a big artist. Put them together, we make more money. Whereas this is coming from the music. It's like this music and this music. Can we make them work together, and gel together? So it's very cool. A lot of this synergy between what were very separate industries and separate genres have now found this hybrid common ground and brought people together.
That's by Lady B, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix. Lady B's a sick DJ, by the way. I think we follow on Instagram. Yeah, Lady B remix. Let's get a couple. Do you want another Virgie one?
Yeah. Always.
I mean, yes, already, isn't it? Oh, this is a bootleg. Fergie bootleg.
You can see me, you can't squeeze me. I ain't easy, I ain't squeeze it. I got
that's
reasons
naughty,
why I tease them. Boys just come and go like seasons. Fergalicious. But I ain't promiscuous. And if you was suspicious, all that shit.
It's nice. It's a vibe. It's early for me though.
Yeah.
Rock, and they be lining down the block just to watch what I got. So delicious.
I need the break. Where's the break?
Crazy. They always
I need the break.
It's so delicious.
Say, I need like a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taste it. I'll be laced with lace. It's so tasty. It'll make you crazy.
To the A, to the S-T-E-Y, girl, you tasty. G, to the A, to the S-T-E-Y, girl, you tasty. G, to the E.
I'd probably start with this.
Yeah, start from this point.
Set a hot cue. Start with this bit and then.
Hit it, Fergie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's totally different. Yeah.
otherwise you kind of give it away too early.
Start late there. Where was that? That is Santorini and Fergalicious, the Carrierson mashup. Right, let's do. Should we do one or two more? We'll do one more.
Been on a big tune hunt this week.
I think. Well, yeah. Do you know what? Some days you get a good SoundCloud day where it serves up and you're like, oh my god, so many good stuff. Other days you're like, oh my god, this is awful. I think you like this one. This is not a peak night. This is like a vibey track, I think. I think Childish Gambino vocal.
Now I'm so relaxed. Girl, what's your problem? I know it's hard sometimes.
I'm just chilling. I feel like we could just continue this podcast and just listen to music and enjoy ourselves.
Sunday coffee morning vibes.
This is one of those tunes we were talking about in the previous episode, like the new sort of at-home boiler rooms.
At-home boiler rooms. I think it might go a bit tougher. Does it? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, a bit more clubbing than I thought it was.
There's a lot of low energy to get to this point.
Yeah. That sound good on a real warehouse system.
Yeah.
Really. Ooh.
But again, it's still warm up. I feel like you'd lose a crowd at peak time with this.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to see someone making a nice coffee and dancing in the bedroom. Like, I could join in with that.
So the winner is this one.
Yeah.
I love it when I already know the game and I've been through it.
Yeah. That is sick, isn't it? That is so good.
Again, if you can find that simplicity in what you're doing, it just that's the sweet spot. It's like put your ideas down and then take as much away as you can without losing the essence of the track. And I think that's where the sweet spot is.
And then sometimes on SoundCloud you'll find that track and you'll go on the producer's thing and you'll be like, oh my god, he's done like 50 types of this.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I found a good one.
Kay Trinada, you mentioned him earlier, but he's like the king of that, like taking a track, remixing it, editing it, and then stripping it into some like real raw elements, like just some literally drums, bass, the sample, and the vocal chopped up or something.
A little swing on the drum.
And then that's it. But it's like done so well that do you need any more elements?
I needed to play this one actually. One sec. The last one. This is called No Devils in the House.
All right.
Again, I think it's like Sunday morning boiler room. Classic sample.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
I know.
That's sick.
This is good, isn't it?
That's sick.
Who's this by?
Again, very simple, but I think the samples used really well.
Yeah. Going a bit. This is Flair Gambit. No Devils in the House. See, this has only had like 900 plays.
Yeah.
Like the world is missing it.
Yeah. Go support.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Nice. Bravo, mate.
Win. Right, guys, that is it for this week's episode. Guys, you
feel
will
chilled. I feel vibey now.
Let me just say, next week you will be very hyped. I ruined it. We got so close. See you next week.